I just want to share with you some of the tools that I have. And also just one of the processes that I use I as different emotions creep up in different scenarios in my life. But one of the key things that we really want to work on, and that I work on with my clients, is improving our relationships. So not just improving our relationships with other people and interactions with other people, but we're improving our relationships with ourselves too. We're thinking about how are we processing the thoughts in our mind, and how are we stopping ourselves and really taking inventory on, why do I feel that way? Where is this coming from? And then working on shifting that thought into something that's going to be more productive for us and better for us in the long run as we make different choices. So I just have this one section in my life book that is one of the tools that I provide for my clients. But we talk about improving relationships, and one of the critical roles to optimize our relationships is to become better at managing the difficult ones. So imagine some of the conversations that we have are usually fulfilled or filled with drama and excessive stress. Think about those conversations, you guys, because some of those conversations happen right here. Some of the conversations we have are with ourselves. Some of the conversations we have are based on opinions of other people that have conditioned us to believe different thoughts and misguided concepts about ourselves. And if we don't work on improving those things, then it's very difficult to move forward and to have progress in our lives. So I wanted to share that with you guys, because this is one of those tools that I mentioned. This is one of the things that you get with my program is the life book. We really work on the mindset, our emotional management, and how we can change our behaviors and our habits to get through life, and to identify what's triggering us, to identify what triggers us to have an emotional response, and um, to turn to food, to turn to negative habits, to turn to, drinking or going out and partying or watching TV all day, or just kind of drowning out every reality in our minds to go and just um, kind of forget about everything instead of actually dealing with it. So this life book is super key in our program. The companion to this is Dr. A's Habits of Health. So this is the educational piece of it that has a lot of the science behind these types of things that you're going to be working on in the life book. So there's journaling. You can see I have a lot of post-its in here, and we're really working through what those concepts are. How do we manage our emotions? How do we stop ourselves? And how do we challenge our thinking and our beliefs, and the beliefs that other people have put onto us? How are we challenging that so that we can change it, so that we can create a new belief of who we should have been rather than who other people told us who we are, okay? So I'm going to share with you just one of the tools, the tips that I use. I mean, there's many, but this thing is something that I do. So when emotions come up in me and I start to feel frustrated, this is something that we talked about tonight on our community night. And so I shared, when something comes up, I really I'm very much more aware of it now than I was 7 years ago when I started practicing this. It really takes time. It takes practice to see the progress. Okay, we are not perfect here. So when a thought or an emotion comes up, I'm much more aware of it now. But I ask myself, where is that coming from? Like, why am I thinking this? Why am I feeling this? Why am I allowing for this emotion to come in? And maybe it's not that particular situation, but maybe it's something else that's happened to me that's been conditioned in my system to make me feel, not even make, it doesn't make me, I allow it to make me, right? I allow that feeling in. Uh, so, what is that bringing up? And am I really willing to give that power to that scenario, to that person, to that emotion? Am I willing to give that up? Or am I willing to actually take the power back? Am I willing to change the circumstance, to change my thought and my thinking and the scenario, so that I can shift it? And then when I shift it to be a response that I want to serve myself, that I want for the person that I want to be, then I can actually have a more positive outcome that is basically what I was looking for. So I've practiced this many, many times in my relationships. I've practiced it in my own beliefs of myself too. So, those moments when you're like, oh my God, that was so stupid. Why did I do that? I mean, how many of you have done that? I mean, come on. Because I've heard people say it out loud. And, so when we say that to ourselves, really stop yourself and think, like, why did I just say that? Because why would I call myself stupid? And that's coming from somewhere. And maybe it's something simple that we heard, we just heard our parents say it when we were younger. We heard them say it to themselves. So we thought, okay, well, I could say that too. But if we continue to say those things to ourselves, we're going to continue to believe them. And so when we can shift our thoughts and we can practice that and we can shift those, John, every day. So when we can shift, those relationships that we have with ourselves, those conversations we have with ourselves, then we could shift the conversations and the relationships that we have outside of ourselves. And we can actually create better habits where we can create more positive experiences. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys today because we just came off of our community night. And again, I have that with our team and our clients and anybody else that wants to join. What we do during these community nights is we really talk about what it is that we're doing to change our behaviors and change our habits, and what are the resources that we're using to do that. And what's a scenario that you were able to do that in over this last month? Because we really want to bring together a community of people. Doesn't matter if you're on my program or not. You could just be wanting to make positive changes. But we do point you to resources that we have at our fingertips, and we have that capability to help you with that. So I wanted to come on here and share because it was a great call, and I am always available if you want to have any talks about what that would look like for you if you had a specific situation that came up. But just remember that we have to continue to practice these habits and these behaviors and these changes that we want to make in order to see that progress. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not the flip of a switch. We took time to learn how to tie our shoes, you guys. We took time to learn how to go to the bathroom and wipe ourselves. And some of us don't even wipe ourselves properly. So, I mean, it's not about perfection. It's just about practicing what you want to have in your power, and it is in your hands. So I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon.